If you're a business owner that has a big pile of data and you're wondering what you can do with it, this video is for you. So my name is Kenneth Chiba. I'm an AI consultant running a company called Mirai AI. This video is intended to be a case study showing what I can do, in more depth than what like a cold email or a cold DM might just be able to explain. So one of the recent projects I've taken on was actually for a charter bus company. They had a big data set of invoice data that looked kind of like this. Now, obviously, they had way more than this, and if this looks familiar, it's because it's what the exported QuickBooks data looks like. And so we'll show you right now what the data actually looks like. Right. So as you can see, if it was a few invoices, it would be easy to handle, but this is how many rows they had, right? And this would be absolutely mind-numbing to look over manually, almost 28,000 rows of information. And unfortunately, this formatting actually made it really difficult to create a Google Sheet formula to manipulate the data or do anything meaningful with it. Now, rather than manually go through nearly 28,000 rows of data, what we ended up doing was create a custom automation that combined all the data and then formatted it on a platform called Supabase in order to make it more organized. Now, each row only contained the name, the invoice number, the transaction date, and then the actual line item description of what the company charged their clients for. We were able to then get the exact number of invoices each client had and the average take price of that invoice. Now, this is great and all, but what's next? What can we actually do with this information? Well, for this business, we now moved on to calculate something called the LTGP to CAC ratio. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a ratio comparing your lifetime gross profit per customer to the amount it costs to acquire a single customer. So you can basically calculate that by taking the total revenue over the lifetime of a customer minus what it costs to deliver a product or service for that individual customer, and then how much you spend in advertising to get one customer. With this ratio, you can get an idea of how much money you're getting back for every dollar you spend in advertising, right? So if your ratio was 3 to 1, say, it means that for every dollar you spend to market and advertise, you're actually getting $3 back, which is fantastic, right? Whereas if it's something like 0.5 to 1, it means you're actually losing 50 cents to get a customer, right? Now, obviously, if it's a recurring service, you might make it up in the back end, but the higher the number is, this number is better, right? For this company, we use this number to determine which LTGP to CAC ratio was higher, whether it was for their school clients or their individual one-time event clients, and based on that, they were able to focus their future marketing efforts into one or the other. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But otherwise, I hope this video was helpful and at least somewhat useful in learning what AI and automated solutions can do for your business.